Welcome into episode 33 of Tomahawk Talk. Michael Stern, Troy Lynch, Kyle Kercheval, and Braves pitching coach Jordan Tabakman with you. A tough loss tonight for the Braves. They fall to the Gatemen 3-2. But coach, your starting pitcher tonight, Doug Norman, making his first start on the Cape. This is the second time recently this has happened. It also happened with Chris Holba. What changes for you as a pitching coach in how you instruct your pitchers when they've been in the bullpen for a while and they're shifting to make their first start?
Just going over our approach and how to prepare for those relievers to making starts. Our midweek preparation before their starts is different now. Knowing they don't have to, throw flat grounds every day. We throw one bullpen about 2 to 3 days beforehand, and we kind of look who we're pitching against, see what our plan is. And I thought Doug pitched really well tonight. I was really happy for him. He threw 4 solid innings, a couple errors, extended his innings. He could have gave us one more, but just because of his pitch count, we had to just shut it down quickly. But his breaking ball was great tonight. His fastball was great, and he made key pitches in key moments. And it's too bad we couldn't do that late in the game, but we were really happy with what Doug gave us tonight.
As most Cape Cod junkies know, it's difficult to manage a bullpen in the Cape Cod League, knowing you've got guys that are coming in, coming out. You have nights like tonight where you have relievers making the start. From your perspective, how does that change when managing a bullpen, knowing that you've got guys going in and out, you've got not necessarily so many roles established, maybe a closer, but other than that, it's just kind of stick to the schedule, or how does that
when they come in from the beginning of the season and then in the middle when guys are rolling in and out, I try to communicate with them on a daily basis on, if they're going to throw today, prepare if you're going to throw. Usually I put a chart out there of who's available and who's not. So I just try to get them as ready as possible before the game starts to mentally prepare if they're going to go in or not. And then as far as roles, we tell them, they're always changing because you never know who's going to leave, who's going to come in. So we kind of just try to make them mentally prepared as much as possible and communicate with them as much as possible so they're always ready no matter what role it is, what the situation is. So.
Doug's the only player who's actually come back from the 2015 roster. He ended up being the starter for the Bourne Braves at the end of last season. He had 3 starts, but now it seems like he's going to be a starting pitcher from this point out. Well, how has he bettered himself as a pitcher from last summer to this one?
Maybe experience. Doug pitched in this league last year, so he kind of knows what the deal is, and you're facing every team's 1 through 3 batter, 1 through 9 in the order, so you got to focus to the extreme every single pitch, and Doug knows that. So having him start last year, we were really confident, having him spot start tonight, that he can get it done, and he did. And, I feel like he's earned another start for sure. We just got to see with our numbers, what's going to happen. But, with Doug's experience just from last year to now, I think that just helped him so much more tonight.
And one more for you, Coach. A great outing for Ronnie Rosamondo tonight. Season-high 3 innings, season-high 5 strikeouts. What's the biggest thing that he's improved since coming to the Cape?
His off-speed, specifically his slider. When he gets that going in games, he's lights out. He has a heavy fastball, and when he can pitch off the slider, his fastball just makes it that much more difficult to pick up. And he was able to throw that early in the count and later in the count tonight against difficult hitters. So I think that's what was able to get him extended to another inning. I know he's usually giving us 1 to 2, but tonight he gave us 3. Try to get him out there for the 4th, but he was lights out tonight, and that was awesome to see.
It's also because he goes to the University of Connecticut, right?
Obviously. Yeah, so.
Another UConn alum right next to us, Jordan Tabakman, the pitching coach for the Braves. Another great job from your staff tonight. Coach will be back with players of the game.
All right. This is Jake Mangum, and you're watching Tomahawk Talk.
Thanks to Braves pitching coach Jordan Tabakman for joining us here on Tomahawk Talk. Us is me, Michael Stern, Kyle Kercheval, and Troy Lynch. The Braves fall tonight to the Wareham Gatemen 3-2, but a lot of great performers tonight. I'll start with you, Kyle. Who's your player of the game?
Well, only 2 runs for the Braves offense tonight, but that wasn't because of Willie Yon. Willie Yon, 7-game hit streak for him. He's got multi-hit games in 3 of those 7 games, and he's really been that spark plug that we've been used to seeing at the beginning of the season. The Willie Yon, the guy whose spark is as powerful as his hair is out there. He played great defense over at third base tonight, had a nice double play catching a liner and throwing it back to second base. Willie Yon has really been a big part of this Braves offense, even though the runs haven't necessarily been coming consistently. The fact that he can provide that at the top of the lineup is huge for the Braves moving forward. Hopefully he can keep that going. And when you have the tandem of him and Mangum working in harmony, that is a dangerous duo to start off your lineup. So Willie Yon, another great effort tonight. He's no more strikeouts from Willie Yon. Hopefully moving forward, he's getting back to the Willie Yon we know and love, and great game for him tonight.
Kyle goes with Willie Yan. Troy, who are you taking?
Well, first of all, I'd like to go with an honorable mention. Connor Wong, who's 2 for 3 tonight. He had a double, and he scored the first run for the Bourne Braves today. But I'm going to go with the guy who drove in the runs, Evan Mendoza from NC State. He drove in Connor Wong, who led off the 6th inning with a double. He came around to score. And then also David McKinnon in the 9th inning led off the inning with a double. And then Mendoza able to drive him in again. He had 2 hits the other night and also had an RBI. So Evan Mendoza really finding his stride, especially battling that wrist injury that he suffered a few weeks ago. But he's been doing a fantastic job, and I'm really excited to see him for the rest of the season. Also next year when he's in college.
So Troy goes with Mendoza. Kyle takes Yan. Tip of the cap from me to Ronnie Rosamondo. Season high 3 innings, season high 5 strikeouts. But I got to go with the starting pitchers tonight. Both were called into duty after being relievers for all season, and they looked like they'd been starting since they were 8 years old. Doug Norman, 4 scoreless to start for the Braves, or 4 innings allowing no earned runs, I should say. He gave up 1 run, but that was unearned. And 5 innings scoreless from Ryan Wilson at a Pepperdine, a left-hander who's really flummoxed the Braves every time he's seen him this season. So that'll just about do it for us. For Troy and Kyle, I'm Michael. The Braves, we've talked about how successful they are when they score at least 4 runs, 11 wins, 2 losses, and 2 ties. The flip side, unfortunately, of that statistic, they are 3-15 when scoring 3 runs or fewer. Tonight was a 3 runs or fewer kind of night, and the Braves fell short 3-2 against the Gatemen. We'll talk to you tomorrow from Harwich's White House Field. Thank you for tuning in to episode 33 of Tomahawk Talk.